Charlotte Brontë is one of the most iconic and influential writers in English literature, known for her deeply emotional and often dark narratives. She was born on April 21, 1816, in Thornton, Yorkshire, England, and is widely recognized for her novel Jane Eyre, which has become one of the most beloved works of the Victorian era. As the eldest of 6 children, Charlotte was part of the famous Brontë family, which also produced the works of her sisters Emily Brontë, Wuthering Heights, and Anne Brontë, Agnes Grey. Early life and influence. Charlotte's early life was marked by loss and hardship. Her mother, Maria Branwell, died when Charlotte was just 5 years old, leaving her father, Patrick Brontë, to raise the children on his own. Patrick was an Irish-born Anglican clergyman whose stern and strict nature had a profound effect on his children, particularly in their intellectual development. Charlotte and her siblings were brought up in an isolated rural setting, which played a key role in shaping their literary voices. In 1824, Charlotte and her sisters were sent to Clergy Daughters School in Cowan Bridge, where the harsh conditions and poor health led to the deaths of her 2 elder sisters, Maria and Elizabeth. These early experiences with illness and death, particularly at such a young age, had a lasting impact on Charlotte's later writing, often exploring themes of isolation, suffering, and emotional resilience. The literary beginnings. Despite these tragedies, Charlotte's love for literature grew, and she began to write stories and poems from a young age. At first, she and her siblings published their poems under male pseudonyms. Charlotte used Currer Bell, Emily used Ellis Bell, and Anne used Acton Bell. This choice was a reflection of the limited opportunities for women in the literary world at the time, especially in the conservative and restrictive Victorian society. In 1846, the Brontë sisters' poetry collection was published under their pseudonyms, and although it received limited attention, it marked the beginning of their literary careers. Charlotte's writing eventually gained attention with the publication of Jane Eyre in 1847. The novel, which tells the story of a young orphaned girl who becomes a governess and falls in love with her employer, was revolutionary in its portrayal of a strong, independent female protagonist and its exploration of themes like social class, morality, and the role of women in society. Jane Eyre and its impact. Jane Eyre was a huge success and solidified Charlotte Bronté's reputation as one of the leading authors of her time. The novel was praised for its strong character development, its complex portrayal of emotions, and its feminist undercurrents. Jane Eyre, the protagonist, defied the conventional portrayal of women in literature, offering readers a complex figure who navigates personal struggles, love, and societal expectations. The novel was also notable for its portrayal of the Gothic genre, with its dark atmosphere, mysterious elements, and psychological depth. Critics praised Charlotte for her ability to blend romance with social commentary, and for her skill in creating such an unforgettable, self-assured heroine. Jane Eyre went on to influence generations of writers and remains a cornerstone of English literature. Later, works and life. Following the success of Jane Eyre, Charlotte Brontë went on to write several more novels, including Shirley, 1849, which focuses on the Industrial Revolution and class struggles, and Villette, 1853, a semi-autobiographical novel about a woman's emotional isolation and struggle for independence. Throughout her life, Charlotte dealt with great personal tragedy. She had a strong bond with her siblings, but her life was filled with loss. In 1854, she married Arthur Bell Nichols, her father's curate, but their time together was tragically short. Charlotte died on March 31, 1855, at the age of 38, just a year after her marriage, likely due to complications from pregnancy. Her untimely death at such a young age only added to the tragic aura surrounding the Brontë family, many of whom had already died young. Legacy today. Charlotte Bronte's works continue to be celebrated for their emotional depth, their innovative approaches to narrative, and their insightful commentary on social issues. Her books have been adapted countless times for the stage, film, and television, and Jane Eyre remains a central text in the study of Victorian literature. Charlotte's legacy as a pioneer for women in literature is undeniable, and she remains a figure of enduring fascination for readers and scholars alike. Her life and works may have been touched by personal loss and hardship, yet her contributions to literature stand as a testament to resilience, creativity, and a vision that transcended the constraints of her time. Whether you're drawn to her work for its compelling characters, its Gothic atmosphere, or its pioneering treatment of women's rights and social structures, Charlotte Bronte's influence remains as profound today as it was during her lifetime.